The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
My takeaway from that game is they played against the Seahawks. They're going to be flappy ass cheeks this year.
Aussie?
Well, we heard you were taking a Lamar Jackson style shit.
Yes, Manjot, I like to do what I do best in this world, and that's where I do some of my best work.
NFL?
Oh, hang on, there's another guy. Daniel Jones is awful.
Fantasy.
Yeah, this is predate the Manjot, the myth, the legend, 100%. Because I was only born in 2017. I'm only 5.
Whether your fantasy team has been robbed of fantasy points by a star player laying a total egg, or you've been the victim to a high-risk player being injured at work, you need the right advice. There is only one place to go when your team or your player need representation in the court of public opinion. Make time with Manjot Melly, Public Defender.
Let's go.
Look at that handsome devil. Goodness me. Again, one gear, super
Cool.
happy.
Yeah.
Are we bringing Mark in to be the judge again?
Okay.
Or?
Can I tell you again, this is just something I discovered from not being a part of the show last week. This show is so much better when I'm injured.
Hey, wait, I was going to make a reference about Maddie being injured, but I
Addition
forgot
by
what the
subtraction.
reference was. Yeah, there was a reference I was going to make, but I fucking forgot it. It's just so annoying to me.
I
I'm
just
like,
love so much when Manjot's like, can I get into German? Mark's just like, no, fuck no.
He's like, no,
yeah.
this
of
guy,
course-
he's going to rot in hell.
And then
And-
you bring up someone that wasn't even on trial, and you'd be like, I wish that I'm going to hang that guy too. It was like Joe Burrow or something.
Yeah,
He's
I
just
was
like,
no, I was
"Oh,
bringing
I'll
up all
just
the
hang that guy."
past defenses and how they failed. But this wait, last week's though, let's just do a quick recap.
Yeah.
Dr. Good Call gets recaps. Public defender, we got
I'm going to quickly just
case
bring up
update.
our list of people who've been through court because I've got to tell you, a few of them, it has not panned out well.
No.
First week we were defending Joe Burrow.
Good. I'll
He's
say
like
that's
quarterback
pretty good.
5 on the season now or something.
That guy has turned
Yeah.
the corner. Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
to
take the
public.
L. Take the L. Prosecution.
He can
there.
take the bracelet off his ankle now. He can leave state lines.
Well, week 2, Allen
Uh,
Robinson can definitely not. That guy,
Oh,
He's
last
in
week
Got a
was
solitary.
touchdown
alright.
last week.
he's in solitary. That
Last week was
guy.
alright. He's
No,
had a few
but-
good weeks.
He-
Over
he
an
has no-
entire season, he's been dog shit. But
I mean,
based off last week, he's gone all right.
No, that guy needs
his
to be locked up.
quarterback. His quarterback is a bit. Yeah, a
Yeah,
bit
they should
too
trade
much
for
love
Jared Goff.
Yeah, too much
I reckon
love
they should.
for.
Go for Jared Goff. He is leading one of the better offenses in the league, and if only the Rams had the foresight to see that.
I think
Give up a few
Robinson
picks.
to the Lions, recoup one of those draft picks you've given for golf. Give Robinson to the Lions. While out at CMC to the Niners, perfect fit. You know,
Stop
the
it.
most
Stop it.
injury-prone team, and
That's
most
just-
injury-prone team and the most
it's
injury-prone
never gonna
running
end.
back. That's a
It's
perfect.
never going to win.
match.
All right, we're going to move on from
Anyway.
this CMC thing. Dalvin Cook. Do you know, we read a lot of stuff in this last week about is now the time to trade Dalvin Cook in fantasy
Yeah.
from a few different places.
So it's a
Manjot and I.
fail.
You guys traded him a day later after the
Yeah, to
segment.
Seahawks, and we played Seahawks this week.
We've
and he
been
got
wrong.
A fucking touchdown. He got
Yeah.
a touchdown. So come on, man. Like, did we
Were
actually?
we wrong? To
No, I think
prosecute him?
everyone's on steroids against the Wankers. So look, Dalvin was a good one though to do at the time because we got onto it before everyone got onto it recently. So I think just getting onto some of these guys early also is fun. So
So, I
yeah.
mean, has he improved? Do you think that he was worth defending, or do you sort of think he's still? I mean, he was
I
a
think
first round pick in
He's
everyone's
improved
league.
for
He's
sure since
improved.
then.
Yeah. So I think I won that one. I'd give the public defender a win there for that one.
You
So
would.
I'd give a slight win, or maybe I'd say
I own him in a few
Oh.
places, and I don't really feel like I'm getting Dalvin Cook out of Dalvin Cook. I kind of feel like I'm getting Miles Sanders out of Dalvin Cook, but
You're not wrong.
yeah. I'd give it a
Is that a
slight
win?
Look, this week it was a win though, with that one touchdown bailing him out against the Dolphins. But
I
That
think
was
Tom
impressive.
Brady's a loss. You got to take the loss on Tom Brady. Tom
Yeah.
Brady's screwed.
I'm taking the loss on
If I'm-
Tom Brady every
I
fucking
spent
week.
I
If we're
spent
giving
way
a
too
win
much.
on Dalvin, we got to give a loss on Tom.
Yeah, I spent too much time talking about Giselle, and then he goes up and
It's the
yeah,
best bit
he's
of
not.
Tom, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's lost it. So he's out there. I don't know what's he doing. Like people like he's out there going to like weddings and taking Wednesdays off, and then he's like screaming at his O line for not blocking against the Steelers. Like fuck, man, it's a reserve O line, and you're doing nothing. I don't think Tom. This is not the same Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not have that killer instinct
Today,
anymore. I'm gonna
that
be honest.
game was the most worried I've been because he's had a lot of excuses this year with his receiving core being down. This game, he had basically everyone. Like he had everyone except Julio, and like I don't know if we're ever going to see Julio again. The bloke's
I think
absolutely
he's.
toast.
I think he's dead.
So if he has Evans and Godwin, that's all he really should need, especially against that bloody Pittsburgh team, and he just did
Yeah.
nothing. So I'm worried. He's the quarterback I have the most shares in my across my league. So I am worried. But again, a few of them I traded low for him and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about it. Like I technically got him back off waivers and Astro. So in terms of the price for him,
Yeah, he
I'm
was
not
free.
too worried about it. But yeah, it's not worrying about that, but you still have to play him each week and cop the bloody, low teen scores and stuff you're getting out of him.
Yeah. He's playing like Big Ben before he got his other killer bees, which is not what you're expecting. I think we
Yeah.
got to say it's DJ Moore. I don't know that.
While
I'd
he's
say
on the Panthers,
Yeah.
he's fucked.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
say
think-
jury's out at the moment, but yeah,
Well-
I'm just waiting for him because, well, yeah,
I don't know that you could say things are better for him.
yeah, that's fair enough.
I think he's probably still in purgatory. Zeke scored a touchdown this week, but I don't know. Was he good?
I mean,
Not
that
really.
touchdown was
Good
nice.
matchup now.
A lot
Yeah,
of these
so
guys are still no better than they were. I mean, they probably still
It's
need
been tough.
defending, don't they?
I'd
Yeah,
play him
Zeke-
this week for sure. Put it that way.
yeah,
This week.
This might be the week where Zeke can turn that around. So, okay, we'll park
Maybe
Zeke.
trade Zeke after this week. 'Cause he's
yeah,
probably about to score 30.
Yes.
yeah. It's just a trade away. So,
All right.
yeah,
So I
Who
think
we got
about
today?
half of them are saved and about half of them are still buckets of piss. We'll have to come back. But okay, we've got a new entrant to the courtroom today, and it is our third quarterback. We've done Burrow based on his preseason hype, and he seems to have probably lived up to it. We've had Tom Brady, who's the exact opposite. And in front of the court today, now I think this is probably overdue. The thing about the segment, bringing one guy a week, there's so many people have been disappointing and letting people down. But Aaron Rodgers is
And he's a
finally
real
going to
knobhead.
face
He
the
is a
court.
knobhead, so it would be great to tear him apart.
yeah. Even I'll tear him apart a little bit, but anyway,
You
So,
do that
Taylor,
a lot.
You can
You do
call
that a
the
lot.
public defender as a
Somehow
witness.
end up the prosecutor at some stage.
yeah, I think someday. Look, we have to bring up one of your guys' boys. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, Elijah Moore's got to be one. He's got to be on this segment.
I
And I
won't
got to
be
get ta-
I won't
Yeah.
be defending him at
Yes,
all.
you will.
I
Yes,
put-
you will.
I
Yes,
put
you will,
Brandon Cooks in
Taylor.
the list. I mean, of ones that we might consider as well.
Yeah.
And I was all over Brandon Cooks, and it has not worked out for him either. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to eat some humble pie too. But
Hey, my breakout. I said Ayuk, and I traded him away after the Lance news in
Yeah.
Astro, and then he's actually
now he's
broken
got
out
the
the last
touchdowns.
week.
Yeah.
So look, I actually did well, but formalities.
Aaron Rodgers is our subject of the day. I don't really know how to start this, but I'm going to send it to the prosecution to describe first. But this is definitely not the Aaron Rodgers we've seen in the past. He wasn't drafted like the Aaron Rodgers we were expecting to see in the past. But nonetheless, he's Aaron Rodgers. And he's here in the court today. And I'm going to throw it to the prosecution for opening statements, please.
Look, I thought there was nothing shitter than Aaron Rodgers being a Jeopardy host, but I have seen far worse this season on the field. He is absolutely garbage, and I don't even know if he knows. It's because he's probably on some LSD bullshit and he's hallucinating like he's actually playing well, but he's actually playing like a horse's ass. He's quarterback 17 on the season, and to be fair, like no one was really drafting him real high this year. I think he was going somewhere around 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But he is just doing nothing this year. And he's out there blaming his receivers, getting the shits with his staff and, acting like it's everyone else's fault but his. But he just looks terrible. Like they may as well bring on the guy from Shameless to play because he looks like him, but he probably has a better arm than him at this point. Like he's a drunk. He's just like Aaron Rodgers hallucinating. So Mars will get him out there. The team just looks terrible. They are losing to everyone. Like they are losing to the Jets. They've lost to two New York teams in a row. Has anyone done that in the last 30 years? They are just horrendous at the moment. They're lucky to be 3-3. They've eked out some games. I think the game against the Pats, he nearly lost to Buddy Zappy. Zap. Nearly lost to Zappy on his home field. So, look, he's just having a terrible year. He's just not getting anyone involved. What he's done for Jones and Buddy Dillon is just horrendous. Get the fucking guys involved, mate. Either hand it off to them more or get them involved in the passing game. Do something because they are so talented and you were doing nothing to help them. You were just throwing it into the turf and giving no one a chance in this team. I know you are the back-to-back NFL MVP, but you are not showing it right now. You look horrendous. Just get out of the league because everyone hates you, mate. You are an absolute piece of shit. I'll rest my case.
Everyone hates you. You're an absolute piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit. Like
wow.
Every single interview and stuff he does, he's just a knob.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
okay. For the defense, Mr. Melly, this is your witness to grill now. Give me your opening statements, please.
So I'd like to defend one Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you were going to go the middle name there. I did. I thought you were
Aaron
going to
Charles Rodgers. Today, Aaron Charles Rodgers is my client.
Playing
today.
like he's Prince Charles.
It's King Charles now to you, sir. Well, King Charles III. Yes. Aaron Rodgers apparently looked like a king the last couple of years. We saw he was indeed King Charles III the last couple of years with his back-to-back MVPs, top of the world.
Yeah.
But
objection. Previous years are not under review right now, Judge.
It's sustained.
Okay. Your Honor, Mr. Rodgers has been struggling. I can admit that, but there is a few caveats.
Okay.
So the Jets and the Giants, yes, both New York teams. It looks bad. It looks bad on paper. On paper, they might look like absolute dog shit on paper, but they've been surprises, Your Honor. Look, the Jets 4-2, Giants 5-1. Why? Not just because their offense is decent, but their defense is amazing. Their defense is much better than before. And Patriots, they just played them. They're a lot better in defense as well. Same with the Buccaneers. They're great defense. So my client Aaron Rodgers has not thrown for 300 yards in a game so far this season. Yes.
Only over 250 yards twice. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, and in back-to-back weeks, where he also threw an interception in both games. Yes, but 2 touchdowns as well. So he's going up this week against a Commanders team, and this is where I'm gonna pin my whole case is on this one game against the Commanders. Everything will come out this game. Look, the Commanders D-line is amazing. They got great defensive line, and the Packers O-line is about average. So this is going to be a tough test for the Packers. But if they got any chance, if there's any secondary they can go up against and put up a big score, I think this is their time to shine. This is where Lazard, this is where Dobbs and all of these guys, Tonyan, can be massive against the Commanders because Rodgers is throwing them the ball. And this is going to be a great test for Rodgers. If he succeeds this week, I think this can be the start of great momentum for Aaron Rodgers against the Commanders. Yeah, so even though his stats against the Commanders haven't exactly been great throughout his career, this is a totally new season. As the prosecutor said, previous years do not matter so much. But I think if the Commanders defense nearly gave up 400 yards against the Bears, then let me just say, Your Honor, there is a chance that they can give up the same amount of yards to the Green Bay Packers. If they're giving it up to a dog shit offense in the Bears, then surely there's enough for
Yeah, that's
my
probably
boy
your
Aaron
most
Rodgers.
compelling point so far, really, isn't it? Is that
Yeah,
what do they say about superannuation? Those ads that past performance may not be the best indicator of future performance.
yes, it's not a reliable indicator of future performance. 100%.
Reliable indicator. Okay, so I guess there's a couple of things that concern the judge here is that the amount of games his volume in attempts has been quite low.
Maybe he sucks ass without Devontae Adams.
Yeah, there's definitely a narrative surrounding.
Devontae also, he sucks ass without Rodgers. Let me just put that out
Maybe
there.
they should be together.
Yeah, maybe there's something they should do a reverse trade and trade back. No Tracy backsies.
Does Devontae
Misery
Adams
loves
even-
company. That's definitely true.
Is Adams even a part of society, or is he going to jail?
Oh, he might be in jail. He's under the personal conduct policy for that misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor assault.
That's such
I
a
might have
weird
to actually-
moment, wasn't it?
I actually might have to defend Adams in the courtroom.
in an
That's my
actual
next
courtroom.
date. Yeah, that's my next date.
Yeah.
That's my multi-million-dollar check. All going to be spent on advertising, by the way, for our show. But
Yes. You'll
just
have a
wanted to
suit with
make
little
sure.
Astros on it.
Yeah.
Okay, some concerns about expectation, because I think that's where we find ourselves today is the expectation, even in recent times, is a guy who can throw you 250 plus yards every other game without query, throw you 3 touchdown games every other game without a worry. And those have been absent this year. A guy who'll throw up maybe 4 intercepts in a year, has 3 already this year. I guess going forward, what I'm looking for is some sort of guarantee of production to try and help give a bit of confidence that this guy's he's going to meet some level of that expectation that we have. Granted, this year the expectation was lower. We've already seen that he was drafted maybe it's the 10th to 12th quarterback. So a lot of leagues, he's not being drafted as a starter. The expectation is that you're getting him as a cheapie who then you will start when somebody else is disappointing. Not that he's going to be the 10th or 12th best quarterback, but that you're still getting the guy who's maybe 5th or 6th. You're just getting a massive discount on him.
Could I pose a question, Your Honor?
Yeah. With
Is
Mr. Goodall.
is the question we should actually start to ask, and I don't know if this would straight away mean that like he's lost this segment or won or whatever. Should we just be looking at Rodgers as a streaming candidate now? Like, because Manjot's the public defender has said that he's got a good matchup against Washington. He also has a good matchup in 2 weeks against the Detroit Lions, but then
Correct.
it bookends with a matchup against the Bills
Bills
and
and Cowboys. Yeah.
So I'm basically putting it out there that, you know, from Rodgers, you had this expectation that he was matchup proof, like that he could have a good game against anyone. I'm wondering whether that's out the window now, and that he's basically a streaming candidate with some of those other quarterbacks that you're just waiting for a good matchup.
Potentially. His ceiling so far this year is 20 fantasy points.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone would be disappointed to know that this guy whose pedigree is to have been the defending back-to-back MVP of this league would have a higher ceiling than that, and we're not seeing that. So I guess what I'm looking to do here to try and install a bit of confidence if we're going to give Rodgers this chance, and I've got to say at this point it was good prosecution, but I'm leaning towards giving a bit of a chance here and leaning towards the defense side.
Your Honor,
but I
Your
want
Honor,
some guarantees.
I want to make a point here. I want to raise a few of where our consensus was in preseason. We actually had Aaron Rodgers outside the top 10, on the edge of the top 10. We had him behind guys
I had
like
him way out, and you guys lost your minds. I had him at like 12 or 13
Correct.
or something.
I think I had him at like 11, so I wasn't too far off. I can pull up spreadsheets and pull up receipts for you, Your Honor, because yeah, it's actually probably important to remind everyone that we weren't actually that high on everyone this year. It's just not. We weren't high on Rodgers, sorry, this year when we look at it, because Rodgers, he is the guy that
Talor had him placed at
he wasn't.
11.
Yeah,
And
I'm just pulling it up right now.
Manjot
We
had
had
him
him
at 5.
consensus. Oh, yeah, okay.
Lenny had
I
him
was too
consensus.
high. I was
Yeah, I
too
had him at
high.
7.
Yeah.
We had him consensus 7.6.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. We're way too
So
high.
even our
I
biggest
had it.
hater was still like, you should start him.
Yeah. Even Taylor said he was a French starter. So I think, yeah,
So
definitely
that's expectation.
we put a bit too much on him. And that was way too early rankings, by the way. Just want to put that out there. When was this dated? This was dated in
ages
May.
ago.
So yeah, this is before we actually got full on data from training camp.
Our most
But
recent update to that was the 19th of August.
oh, okay. So I think that was Taylor doing his re-rankings. But anyway,
If I re-ranked, I moved Rodgers up. Like I know for a
Yep.
fact that when we
Yeah.
first did our rankings, I was the lowest by a mile. I actually
You
think
still
if
are.
anything, Maddie moved him down at some stage because I don't think you guys had him outside the top 10 when you first did it. Because I remember
I
I
had him at
said
7.
that.
I
I
kept him
said he
there.
was outside the top 10, and yous were like, whoa, that's like really bold. And then as the preseason went on, I think yous were both sort of like, oh, maybe I'll move him down a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I ever did a re-ranking, so can't really say. But Your Honor, I'm just gonna say that our prosecution was even hard on him before the season, so this was kind of expected by some people. But look, I'm ready to say that yes, I did get it wrong in the preseason, probably because I didn't look at rookies, but a lot of people he wasn't really the first quarterback taken by anyone, wasn't even the fifth quarterback taken by anyone. You had the top 5 quarterbacks that were taken by everyone in all the drafts I did were like Allen, Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow. You had who else was there? Herbert, of course. Those guys were all taken before. So, Your Honor, Rodgers was a lower round pick. So his expectations, we might be talking about expectations right now, but a lot of people had the same expectations that he wasn't going to be as good in fantasy this year as some of these other guys coming through. So it's not like Rodgers is being started in most 10-team leagues, to be honest, but there's definitely some Rodgers starters out there. But this week, I think this is the real test for Rodgers. If there's any game that can jumpstart him, it's a game like this against the Commanders. So, Your Honor, I'd like to rest my case for the moment. Yes.
Okay, I've got a couple of summary points to make before giving you both one last crack. At 7.67 on our own consensus rankings, we're saying start him. He, even after the expectations been lowered from being pretty much a perennial top 3 quarterback for most of his fantasy life, we've tempered that. We're still saying start him. And this many weeks into the season, in 10-team leagues, he's still being started by 80% of leagues. It seems dangerous to do that given what we know about him on the season so far.
That's
but we know
my
that,
point.
but we know that he is up against an excellent matchup this 1 week. We can review his performance in a week's time, given this circumstance. I gotta tell you, we need
My
some
question though will be
performance markers. We haven't seen a 250-yard. We've seen one 250-yard game out of him where he threw 251, and then we've seen another where he threw 255. He's limping over these where he would throw 300-yard games routinely every other game. Can I get some assurance on points from yardage for him this week from the public defender?
Yes, I think this will be the 300-yard game you're going to see
We're going to
from
see the
Rodgers.
300. We
Yeah.
also haven't seen a 3-touchdown effort out of him. Maybe predicting 3 is a bit high. Are we going to predict 2 touchdowns out of him?
I think we're going to get at least 2.
That's going to give us a 24-point floor before you start talking about whether there's a turnover. 24.
Yes, I think there is a possibility, Yana, and this is where I'd say at least one of them's going to Tonyan, and then you're going to have one at least go to Dobbs or Lazard. There's not enough in that Washington Commanders secondary to really stop them right there.
All right, now the prosecution, I know that you would prefer to see a full conviction here, but given the circumstances and that there is an opportunity for rehabilitation here, do you find it agreeable that I've set some markers in there for guaranteed performance reviewable in a week?
It's like I said, it depends on what we're looking for here. Like, are we deciding whether he's a full-time starter on someone's team, or are we saying that you can play him on certain matchups? Because to me, that makes him a streamer if we're only playing him on good matchups. Like, my question would be
this is that establishing point. Yeah.
We watch him have a good game against Washington. What does that mean moving forward? Like, do we play him against Buffalo? Do we play him against Dallas? Like, that's again what I was trying to get my point across is the guy's at a point where you pretty much have to have a premium matchup to play him. So he's almost to me like in the category of your Goffs and your Genos and your stuff like that. And that's not what even if you drafted him at 12, that's still not what you drafted. You drafted someone better than that. So I just don't know if we're going to know exactly what he is, even if he has a good game against Washington. So I agree. I would be starting him for sure against Washington. I just don't know what that means moving forward, even if he has a good game. I just don't think that all of a sudden means he's a guaranteed starter.
He can't get you 300 yards and 2 touchdowns against this awful dog shit secondary.
Then there's something serious.
Time to burn the house down.
Yes.
This isn't a can we start him against Buffalo. This is a can you even start him against Washington? So this is the real readjustment of expectations.
Washington also won't keep up, probably. So they're not going to be great offensively, you wouldn't think. So that's not going to help Rodgers either.
We've seen Heineke drag this offense around, though. They're not sending in Howell. They're not picking up, dumb shit Neville off the street to start him. They're putting a guy in who's worked in the Rivera system now for 3. This is his 3rd season in it. We've had Heineke as the start of the week quarterback a few times in segments we've done in the past. So I feel like there's confidence that Washington will be able to do something. Don't know what, something.
Fire up the Heineken.
This is that moment where we establish whether Rodgers is even in the can you stream him conversation or not.
If it's can you stream him, then I agree with the defense. I think you could definitely stream him.
This will be the week where you find out if that's even really likely anymore or not, though. If your expectation is I need a guy who can get me more than 20 points.
Yeah, he has to have a ceiling.
Is the referendum, right?
Is it?
All right, well, we'll review that one in 7 days' time with these really tough markers of 300 yards, minimum 2 passing touchdowns. I feel like we're about to discover one way or the other whether Rodgers is completely cooked or not. I think this is the right week to have had this conversation.
Sounds good.
All right. My ruling is in. He gets to stay for a week. 79% of people are going to either be, kind of okay, or they're going to be fucking raging.
Oh boy, that public opinion will be coming back.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this is the one we have to put right out of the social media early too, so we can get the division of people to see who's in what camp, and that will help us. But that was a good one. I really enjoyed the roast of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't know if that was public opinion or just my opinion. I was just getting personal. I just think he's a dick.
Yeah. He's like Michael Jordan. Cannot stand
That's all I really need.
This is twice that I've been able to say how much I hate Michael Jordan. Manjot's got both of them. All right.
Yeah, you've told me too many times how much you hate Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I can't wait to see someone else lead off this segment. With what we're looking at, it is not great.
Look, Goff, I was looking at him in the first round.
He wasn't, but I was rattled at wide receiver this week. I guarantee I go last.
Yeah, wide receiver is very, very interesting.
I'm not sure about really any of them, so we'll just say per Dr. Google.
Yeah, I wasn't actually. I was thinking about picking him up, but then, yeah, I just didn't. I'm going with Irv Smith Jr.
Ooh,
The
nice.
Oh,
Smooches.
smooches will have to wait.
Stitches, I was ready for that one.